welcome to Marvel Cinematic University. I am your host and professor, Alex, and with me, as always, is the worst student ever, Jacob. Couldn't even get an A on his exam.
You may have edited that recently.
Couldn't have even gotten a C. No.
Thank goodness for all that extra credit you gave me.
Yeah, honestly, that's the only thing that saved you. I'd like you to know that.
And I am semi-grateful for it.
Well, honestly, here's the thing, right? So you angered me a little bit tonight by saying that you had to still watch the movie and that we were going to be recording a little later than I wanted to. So...
Well, you see, there's this thing called work, and I can either half-ass watch the movie, or I can take a couple hours after work and watch the movie and pay attention to it.
There's also this thing called they give you a full week to watch it.
And I wouldn't remember it if I didn't watch it recently.
That's fair, but I would have remembered it, and I would have failed you. But anyway, I decided that when you messaged me that I hadn't done the quiz yet. So I want you to go full well into the quiz later, knowing that I made that after you angered me.
I'm ready to get a 0.
Yeah, maybe 1. Maybe I threw you a bone.
Anything above a 0 will be a win, and I'll take it as you didn't make it when you were angry.
Yeah. Anyway, this is Marvel Cinematic University. Each and every week I go through the Marvel Cinematic Universe with my student here, Jacob, and I teach him something he never knew before and probably still doesn't.
Yes. In one ear, out the other, as they say.
Yeah, that's like the definition of you.
Yeah, there's nothing in there to catch any thoughts.
But this week we are talking about Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Not to be confused with Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Are you worried you might have confused it?
No.
Yeah. No.
You can tell by the timeline I chose the right movie.
Technically, it's Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but at the end it shows a nameplate and it says Captain America and the Winter Soldier. And that's confusing because there's already a movie called Captain America Winter Soldier.
Yeah, when I pulled it up on Disney Plus, I saw that and I was like, wait, which one? And I did a little, which picture's different? And I figured out that one said Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
One of these things is not like the others. So yeah, this week I made you watch Captain America Winter Soldier, and I have some things to tell you about it.
Go ahead. Put them in my brain and see if they stick.
They won't. So the budget of this movie was $170 million, and it got a box office return of $714.4 million.
Now, where does that put it on the scale of Marvel movies?
Less than Iron Man 3 and Avengers, but more than Thor: The Dark World.
The Hulk movie did like $36, so.
Yeah, and I think Thor: The Dark World made at least a nickel. I mean, I saw it twice, so probably a dime.
You had a nickel for every time you saw that movie. You'd have 2 nickels, but it's weird that it happened twice.
I'd have 2 nickels and a third, and 5 more that I fell asleep during.
Yeah.
I can only own those nickels while I'm asleep. This film, Captain America the Winter Soldier, not to be confused with Hulk or Thor, was directed by the Russo brothers, who would go on to direct Captain America Civil War, Avengers Infinity War, and Avengers Endgame.
They're quite talented directors.
I'd say they've made some pretty swell movies.
They have a good resume. I'd hire them.
You know where they got their start?
Where did they get their start, Professor?
On the hit NBC sitcom Community.
Ah.
Marvel hired them after they filmed the paintball episode of Community, as they liked what they did with comedy and action.
Yeah, there was one of the Community actors made a little cameo.
Danny Pudi, also known as Abed. Troy and Abed in Avengers.
No Donald Glover, though.
Not in this movie.
Nope.
but that doesn't mean he doesn't exist in the MCU.
Not yet.
Well, not as of us watching it, but as of movies being out, yes, he does exist in the MCU.
We'll learn about him later.
Actually, most of Community does.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure everyone except for Britta and Jeff are in the Avengers in some way, or in the MCU in some way.
For now.
For now. Maybe the next Russo brothers movie they'll throw them in.
Community in the MCU confirmed?
Oh, exactly. I think it does take place in the MCU. I think it's all connected.
Put that in the it's all connected notes.
Well, this film, Captain America: The Winter Soldier, stars Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, Anthony Mackie, and Robert Redford. And, my favorite part of this is, where in the timeline does this take place? Well,
after the last movie.
It takes place approximately 2 years after the events of Avengers, and lines up with Season 1, Episodes 16, 17, 18, and 19 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So, we'll talk more about that next week.
The show I'm only watching currently.
The show that will be your homework.
Oh, I better start. I should have started watching it.
Yeah, you should have.
Episode 2.5.
Well, I might be almost done with it, and it was pretty cool to watch that and this together.
Yeah, that's kind of what I found when I watched the first 2 episodes. I saw, a couple callbacks, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Anyway, we're not talking about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this week. We are
not
talking...
Yet. That's next week.
We are talking about Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Jacob, tell us all about Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
Don't say it. Don't you say it. Left. Come on!
Well, Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
No. Jake. Wrong one.
Oh, okay.
They're both in this movie, but that's not the right thing you were supposed to watch.
So let's see what happens. How does this movie start?
On your left.
Yeah, on your left. Oh, why am I blanking right now? Don't tell me.
I literally just told you how it starts.
That means nothing to me.
All right, go ahead. I'm not gonna jump in unless you really need me. Apparently, it doesn't sound like you do.
I just watched it. It's that first step that's always the hardest, they say.
Yeah, I know. You forget the first 15 minutes, so I can't wait for me to ask you the first 9 questions.
I was cooking a burger while watching it, so might have been a little distracted.
All right, let's take this again. Jacob tells me the movie.
Don't say it. Don't you say it. Left. Come on!
You want to say that again? I kind of talked over you there.
Take the movie. Tell me about it. What is it? What happens in this goddamn movie?
Tell me about the movie now!
How does this start?
15 seconds, go! So it starts with Captain America running past Anthony Mackie, does laps around, I believe it's called the reflector pool or the mirror pool in Washington, D.C.
I'm pretty sure it's the pool of reflection, but I made that up on the spot, so that could be wrong.
The mirror pool of reflection?
I know that it sits near Washington's pee-pee or something. Also known as the Washington Monument.
And that's where we get introduced to Sam, who is Anthony Mackie.
Exactly.
He, kind of gives Captain America some thoughts on, different tunes to look into. Because
here's a question: do you remember what tune?
I do. I knew until you asked me. Don't tell me. Marvin. I know it was by Marvin Gaye.
Oh, you got part of it. Color me impressed, but do you know what the song was?
Touch tones.
It was Trouble Man.
That's it. I knew it started with a T.
All right, continue.
Continuing. He gets that, and then he's like, can't drive everywhere, and he hops in a sweet Corvette with ScarJo. Drives off.
I mean, what other way to impress the guy you just met than to get in a nice ass car with ScarJo?
Like, we're getting ahead of ourselves here, but there's a reason when they're like, everyone, later in the movie, they're like, everyone's trying to kill us. He goes, not everyone.
He knew exactly who would be on his side after that.
Yeah. You just don't turn against the guy who gets in a Corvette with Scarlett Johansson. That's not something you do.
Yeah. He's on my side. He saw what I can do.
Yeah, exactly. Then they have a nice little mission to go to this ship that was stolen, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
I wasn't sure if this was I'm pretty sure it was the ship that was stolen, but
yeah, no, okay. No, the ship and I won't dock you points for this. The ship is a shield ship, and it was being pirated by Beric the Leaper.
Did you say you will dock me points?
No, I said I won't dock you points.
Oh, that was some detailed information there. Now, it's important to note Agent Sitwell on board ship.
It is. It looks like he's sitting pretty well too.
He is sitting quite comfortably, acting captured.
Acting captured. I think he was really captured though. Didn't you see where he was captured?
That's neither here nor there. I choose to think he was acting captured. You know, Cap gets down there, beats up everyone.
Hey, Rumlow helps.
Sure. Captain America couldn't have beat all those guys without Rumlow.
No, Rumlow is actually the hero of the story. You can't tell, but he's the main character. Captain
America's dead if Rumlow's not there.
Exactly.
You know? No more movies.
Some might say Rumlow is dead if Captain America is there.
Some could.
In the future, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
We
never know what's going to happen. We haven't watched any movies past this.
No. I've never seen a single Marvel movie.
Yeah, he's definitely not called like Skull Crusher. Oh, Crossbones in the future.
What were you gonna call him though? I'm curious.
Skull Crusher.
I think that's a better name.
I think it's better than Crossbones. But...
Yeah, Crossbones. What did you call it? Skull Crusher.
Skull Crusher.
Crossbones.
Better,
Skull Crusher.
They're like, no, sorry, Skull Crusher's copyrighted. We got to go with Crossbones.
Yeah, that's taken.
And then so they fight off all of the guys. He takes care of the Leaper dude.
Do you remember the Leaper's name?
No, you just said it. There's no shot.
Well, at least you've acknowledged.
Leaper.
At least you've acknowledged that I've said it already. Continue.
Yeah. And then he's, gets blown through a wall, and Natasha Romanoff's stealing some pretty secretive information.
Yeah, what's she doing there?
Yeah, she's on a separate mission. Now, Captain America, old Steve Rogers, not happy about this. Has a little discussion with Mr. Fury.
He says, Mr. Fury, I don't like the way you're doing things around these parts.
And some could say he gets a little furious.
I hate you. I hate you so much. Did you plan that immediately after you saw that scene an hour and a half ago?
No, I came up with that just now.
No cap?
No cap. But there is a cap.
Yeah, did you see what
Captain
I did?
America. So, after that, a couple things happen that I'll explain in a second.
Seems like your brain tank's not working too well.
Oh, I'm very tired. Only had one coffee today.
Well, get that brain rattling.
All right, we're good to go. Don't tell me.
Wow, it's almost like, something like that.
See, the thing is, I watched it so recently. I'm really, really trying to put it in chronological order. So I got about 19 scenes popping up in my head right now, and I'm trying to put them in order.
Yeah, no. Like, I would think maybe after he was having a conversation to Fury about security, he would. Okay.
Shut up.
All right.
Shut up, you wench.
I just think he would maybe Fury might show him something.
So Fury then goes to the WSC.
Nope, you skipped it. You missed it.
I knew it.
Fury might show Steven something, maybe down an elevator after telling him a story, perhaps.
Yes, tells him a story about his dad, a ham sandwich, and
it was his grandpa and a gun.
Grandpa, ham sandwich, some singles, and a gun. And by the time that story's finished...
Pretty long story.
A little long, a little bit drawn out. He's like, this is a bit bigger than my grandpa's gun. He shows him 3 helicarriers.
Now, with propellers that will go forever, thank you to Tony Stark, after getting a close look at it.
Yeah, he had to, take a look or two at it.
You know what that's referencing, right?
No.
In the Avengers, when Iron Man is sucked into the rotor.
Oh.
Those are the parts of the ship that he has fixed.
I guess he did get a pretty close look at it.
Yeah, that's why Fury says that.
Yeah. That's a nice little reference. I think it's not stated enough. The logistics it took to build all 3 of those.
Oh, that was taxpayer money, baby.
Yeah, within like 2 years, max.
Well, here's the thing, right? They probably already had the helicarriers. They just had to upgrade them or whatever. Maybe they had the skeletons and they were like, wait, we can make these better. And then they took more taxpayer money and made them more better.
Per the order of the WSC.
Oh, yes. They are pretty good at work in this movie, I would say.
Yeah, they are definitely at work. These guys are mostly scumbags, but, not all of them.
Most of them, but not all of them.
Most, not all. But after that, that's when Fury goes and talks. Finds out he tries to log in, and he can't log in to his thing. He's like, who denied my access? And he was the one that denied his access. So then he goes and talks to the guy who's talking to the WSC.
Robert Redford, also known as Alexander Pierce.
Yes, and I wonder if he's actually in this book. Let's take a look.
He probably is. He is also a member of the World Security Council.
Yes.
Also, he is Secretary of Defense. Also, he's a swell guy. Oh, no? He seems to be pretty good pals with Samuel L. Jackson. Why don't you think he's a swell guy?
We'll get there. He is not in this book.
That's crazy, but that random guy from Thor was?
Yeah. Unless it's under Pierce. Let me check Pierce. Where's the P?
E for Pierce. It just baffles me that the random guy from Thor wasn't in there, or was in there. Oh, okay, he is in there. Does he just get one sentence like Zachary Levi did?
It's starting to look like it. Yes.
You're not
in.
Oh boy. He doesn't even get a picture?
He does not get a picture.
Oh no. But the random guy from Thor did. I don't even remember the guy from Thor's name. Wow. Apparently, if you're not...
It's kind of bullshit Harley Keener has a page in here, first of all.
No, I like Harley Keener. He might appear later. You never know.
Ian Boothby is in here.
Who?
But not Alexander Pierce.
Who was the first guy?
Ian Boothby.
Ian Boothby. Show me the picture.
He's the intern for Darcy.
Oh, that's the intern. See, I didn't even remember the intern's name. Oh, God. All right, continue your story here.
Okay. So he goes to see old Alexander Pierce.
Alexander Hamilton?
Alexander Hamilton. He's like, hey, shut this project down. The data might be compromised. And guy's like, sure, I'll shut it down. Alexander Pierce is like, for you, my friend, I will not. Or I'll shut down the program or put a hold on the program. Nick Fury, not furious anymore, walks out of there shortly to become furious soon. After,
What makes him furious, Jake?
Well, you see, the cops were like, here, pull over. And then he gets T-boned. He gets, pinched in by a SWAT van and like 12 other cop cars. They start shooting his car. He, fires back, kills a bunch of these Hydra people.
No, they were police officers, I'm pretty sure.
They were Hydra,
I don't know. It seems like he might be spoiling part of the movie.
They were police officers, except his computer said, we'll say bad guys.
They were police officers that may or may not be police officers.
The computer said no DC police officers in the area.
Well, clearly the computer was malfunctioning because I saw a lot of police officers in the area.
They were in disguise.
No, they were pretty clearly wearing police outfits.
That was their disguise.
All right, Kentucky.
Did you say Kentucky?
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Continue.
All right, so he goes on a pretty sweet police chase until he runs into, guess who?
The Winter Soldier?
The Winter Soldier.
Or was it Falcon?
Not Falcon.
Was it Captain America?
No, it was his old pal, James Buchanan Barnes.
Whoa. He died. Get out of here. Continue.
Cut that out. He's dead. I messed up. I don't remember that part of the movie. Runs into him. Does a little flippy do with the car, right?
Yep. That's what I would call it. A little flippy do.
Fury, still furious, takes this little laser plasma pen, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Cuts a hole in the ground. I don't know where this hole goes. It's just lucky it's there. Because apparently it's hollow under the streets of New York.
Well, actually, it's Washington, D.C., and everyone knows that there's a hollow city underneath Washington, D.C., so he's fine.
Yeah, that's right. Scratch my whole previous point. Nicolas Cage in National Treasure talks about that.
Yeah. I think Nick Fury is going to go steal the Declaration of Independence, actually.
It's really what this movie's getting at here.
I think at some point they kidnap President Ellis, and it's a whole thing.
Yeah, whole to do.
Captain America, National Treasure.
I'd watch it.
Same. They're both Disney.
Yes. Confirmed same universe. Captain America stops Nick Cage from stealing the Declaration of Independence.
I think Nick Cage would shit himself.
Yeah. Iron Man just shows up. The Hulk comes busting through.
It's a whole Avengers assemble kind of. And you need to assemble the Avengers to fight Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, he's pretty crafty, that guy.
I mean, he was almost Superman. That's a tale for another time.
Another time, another universe. Anyway, Nick Fury hides away in Captain America's house and
apartment,
which is where we meet Agent Carter, who's doing her laundry.
Actually, that's Agent 13, also known as some alias she gave. We don't know that she's a Carter yet.
The book doesn't tell me I shouldn't know that yet.
Oh man, you gotta put that book in chronological order.
Yeah, it is, but the thing is, these people, they go by many names.
I mean, I knew because of the comic books, but I'm pretty sure we don't actually find out she's related to Peggy until the next movie. But she does mention her. She does mention her Insomniac aunt, who is also Peggy. I mean, come on, give the woman a break. She's got dementia, for God's sake. I wouldn't sleep well with dementia.
Not a good snooze.
She's also probably got PTSD from, fighting in World War II.
Some would say maybe played a part in it.
I feel like maybe that somehow affects her psyche, and maybe that's why she can't sleep at night. But okay, Sharon, be a dick to your aunt.
Yeah. Figure it out, Sharon. Don't know it's Sharon yet.
No. She gives some weird name. And then says I'm Agent 13 or something. Anyway, continue.
Yes, because we actually find out she's Agent 13 after Nick Fury gets couple old bullets pew-pewed into him. Captain America's like, I'm on pursuit after Agent 13 comes in, and he tries to chase down Bucky.
Winter Soldier. That's not Bucky.
Winter
Bucky's
Soldier?
dead.
Who's this Bucky guy I keep talking about?
He fell off a train like 90 years ago.
He's dead. No one could survive that.
No, never.
Not even if there was a fire.
Not even if it was the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, no one survives that. Not even if there were tests previously done on him that possibly caused him to survive.
I feel like you're getting somewhere with this, but not along with the movie. So let's get along with the movie.
Keep me on track. I'm a train going off the tracks here.
Just like Bucky was a man going off a train.
Yeah.
All right, continue. God damn it, we keep getting off track.
And then Captain America goes, Steve Rogers, he goes back to S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters, where he takes a pleasant little elevator ride.
After talking to Robert Redford.
Yeah, briefly. It's neither here nor there, really.
Yeah, I guess that wasn't important when, Robert Redford basically threatened that if he didn't come out with the information for Nick Fury, Robert Redford was going to bring the entirety of S.H.I.E.L.D. down on him.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah. No, not important at all.
Yeah. I mean, Fury said trust no one.
Yeah.
So, also, not my fault. I forgot that part, which I didn't forget. Got ahead of myself there because you said get on with the story. Hit the old fast forward button a couple seconds. Anyway, he gets in a nice elevator, notices guys in there a little tense. It's not all well in the elevator.
Something's going awry.
That could be for two reasons. All right. A, some of the guys don't like elevator rides. B, they're there to attack Captain America.
You forgot about C.
What's C?
They find the muscles on Steve Rogers pretty attractive, and they are nervous to be in the elevator with him.
You're right. That is probably at least one of them.
I think that's the guy sweating.
Yeah, that was the guy sweating there.
He actually paid there to be. He actually paid to be there to be punched by Captain America.
It was his first day on the job, actually.
He was like, "Wait, I get to be choked out by Captain America? Count me in."
If you listen closely, you actually hear "Choke me, Daddy" in the background. Choke me, Cappy.
That's why they brought that cuff thing to put around his neck.
Yeah, they really wanted that was his idea, actually. Like, I think it'd be pretty damn cool if we just cuff this guy.
He's standing there watching Steve put somebody in a chokehold, and he's like, "I got dibs.
I got dibs. Me next. Me first."
I think we described that fight pretty well.
Yeah. Yep. That's how that fight went. Captain America gets out there, hops on a pretty sweet motorcycle.
That comes out of literally nowhere.
No one knows where it was, actually.
It's his secret Captain America ass bike.
Yeah.
He presses a button and it expands from his America's ass.
There's a sweet little getaway where he finds Romanoff because she's doing something.
He goes to the hospital to find the USB drive that he stowed away that you skipped over, and then it's gone, and then he confronts Romanoff because she's standing behind him, so he figured, oh, this must be the asshole who stole my USB drive.
Yeah, and he's like, what are you doing on that ship? Pirate ship.
Yeah, why were you being a pirate on that ship?
She goes, arg. Yeah, so he decides he can trust her.
Yeah, he decides she can help. And then they go to Best Buy or whatever.
Yeah, they go to...
Or the Apple store.
The Apple store. And you're just like, can I help you? Oh, we're just looking for a honeymoon spot. Where are you going? New Jersey.
What a great place for a honeymoon.
Who wouldn't go there?
I just want you to remember the IT guy. He'll be important later.
Yeah. Oh, yeah! Later. I haven't seen that movie.
Maybe a movie, maybe not a movie. We'll see.
They go to the base where Captain America trained at.
And the name of that base is...
Camp Pendleton. Pretty sure that was in the first movie.
But also known as Camp Lehigh.
They go there and they find out Zoloff is like a... Zoloff. Jesus. Zolo?
Oh, you'll get it one day.
My book. Where's my book? Where is he?
Is he in the book?
He should be in the book.
He must be in the book.
Picture.
He was in the
Zola.
first... Yeah, Arnim Zola. Rocking a more comic-accurate appearance in this movie where he is just a robot face.
Yeah, robot face. He's actually like kind of a robot. So they were like, I thought you were dead.
Yeah, he's in the computer.
Yeah, and he kind of starts like explaining plan of S.H.I.E.L.D.
As a villain does.
As a villain would do.
I don't know if you remember from Iron Man, or from the original Captain America, but he wasn't like the most secretive guy, and he was kind of a dick.
This guy loves a tale.
Yeah,
you know, you give him a chance to tell a tale, he'll spin that web.
Yeah, he lived quite long too. He lived till 1970s. I'd say that was an age. He was pretty old during World War II.
Yeah. Well, you know, Red Skull puts some years on you. It really weathers you.
Yeah, all that Nazism really drains you.
Can't imagine you keep up a good look hanging around that crew. Finds out he's just Stalin talks about Hydra.
Yeah. Now we learn about Hydra being reborn in S.H.I.E.L.D. Cuts off one head, two more shall grow. We also learn here that Hydra killed Tony's parents.
Yes. It's another movie.
But we also learn that here in a newspaper.
Then they get hit with a missile.
As one does.
Yeah, it's just something that happens at Fort Lehigh. They survive.
Hold on, real quick. We're gonna talk about this way like maybe like 9 months in the future. But I just want you to put it in your cap right now. Missile hit Camp Lehigh. Just remember that. That is a very important thing to remember.
Ain't going anywhere.
Kind of like how I asked you to remember that the Bifrost was destroyed. I want you to remember that Lehigh exploded.
And how apparently until the last movie we didn't figure out how the Bifrost was remade.
Exactly.
Although based off that movie, there's no way we would have known.
Oh yeah, no, that's as good as guess as any. Yeah. Pretty sure I learned it from a Goog.
Yeah, you actually did. You looked it up. Gave it a Goog.
I had to know how.
So they escape, and that's when they go to Sam's house.
Ah, you got it. You got there. I'm proud of you. He said, "There's no one we could trust," or she's like, "There's no one we could trust," and Steve's like, "Oh, I know the guy that watched me drive away with you. We could trust him."
We could trust him. He saw me and you in a Corvette. We forgot to mention ScarJo, Steve Rogers, the little kiss.
Oh yes, yes, one does.
And she said, "You haven't kissed someone since 1944.
Insulting.
Big insult.
Back then, he banged Chris Pratt's grandma or something.
Yeah, something like that. It's highly theorized. So then they go to do a little capture mission on Agent Sitwell. A capture interrogation, if you will.
Who's Sitwell talking to? Having some lunch with?
The senator secretary guy.
Yeah, where's that senator from?
Oh, he's from the Iron Man movie.
Yeah, he doesn't like a big prick.
He doesn't like a small prick. He's talking about some, and I believe these are the senator's words, not mine, when he says this. He has a problem at home that's a 23-year-old tasty little treat.
Those are his words, yes. Really hurting his back, he said.
Yeah, really hurting his back.
They say Hail Hydra, as one does.
It goes, Hail Hydra, and seductively into Sitwell's ear.
And we learn in that moment that Sitwell has betrayed us all.
Yeah, I think the pin on his lapel was rather suspicious, but
it's almost like they set it up in the Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode that came out the week before this movie came out.
Yeah.
That we'll learn about next week.
Definitely. He gets a call, thinks it's from Alexander Pierce, but it's from Falcon.
Yeah, good old Aunt Mac.
Aunt Mac and Cheese.
Wait till we learn about Aunt Mac and Ant-Man.
And he's like, "Hey, go get in that van over in the alleyway there. That's not suspiciously parked or anything."
No.
And next thing you know, Sitwell getting thrown through a door on the roof.
Not sitting well anymore.
He is rolling well, though. Romanoff and Steve Rogers are, kick him off a building.
As one does.
He thinks he's going to die. Falcon catches him like a mouse in a field.
More like a salamander in a field.
A lizard.
The Falcon's after his lizard prey.
Yeah. Throws him back up on the roof where he really spills the beans. You're not picking those up once they're out of the can.
He spilled all the beans. He said Bruce Banner, Stephen Strange.
Iowa's high school valedictorian.
All the Avengers.
Anyone who could potentially be a problem.
It's around this point that we get some murder happen.
Yeah, there's some murder. All right.
Do you remember who gets murdered here?
It's actually Alexander Pierce's maid.
It's Agent Deadwell. Bucky pulls him out of the car, throws him onto the highway. A giant truck hits him. He becomes roadkill. Kind of like a salamander on the street.
Must have missed that death.
And then they all fight the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, and, they do some sweet moves and, pretty good battle. Steve Rogers flies through a bus.
As one does.
Dodges some bullets. Romanoff gets shot.
Yeah, she's used to it. Then Captain America comes face to face with the Winter Soldier, a man he's never seen before.
Never even met him once, some would say.
Some would say, but I was going to say, he gets in a heated fight. The man punches his shield, so he does the only thing a normal person would do when he knocks off his mask. And what does he see?
Sees his good old pal, Buckweld Barnes.
Wait, how the did that guy live? He fell off a train. He's dead.
Couldn't tell you. Wasn't some weird experiments that were done on him back in 1944, for sure.
I feel like we might find out that that's exactly what it was.
What? That's crazy. That's super weird. That's wild.
Wild.
Anyway, they get surrounded by agents of Hydra, now that we know.
Yeah, I believe you.
In the same cop cars as earlier, mind you.
What?
Yeah, those guys were Hydra. Who would have known?
Not I.
They throw them in the back of the paddy wagon, and they take them to a tunnel. Or, well, on the way there, right? They're like, hey, we got to get her some help. She's shot. She's going to bleed out. Then one of the Hydra agents goes, does a little flashy thing with his wand.
Or her.
Could be her. We don't know yet. Then she zaps the crap out of the other Hydra agent.
Or him.
Removes the helmet. Guess who it is?
It is
Robin Scherbatsky.
That's how he met his mother.
Yeah. She actually killed Ted Mosby.
Oh,
there.
no.
He was the other one. The other agent in the van.
It's pretty crazy how I Met Your Mother and Community take place in the same universe.
Waiting for Neil Patrick Harris to show up.
Well, so what happens next?
Well, these guys, they get to the tunnel, and they're like, dig 3 graves immediately. A little pushy, if you ask me.
Yeah.
They just drove a long ways.
Can they get a pee break first?
Yeah, well, that guy probably has to take a whiz. Guess what? They're not there anymore. Where did they go?
Could be anywhere.
Underground.
What's in this bunker?
Nick Fury.
Does anyone die in this goddamn universe?
No, it is very, very hard to die.
Let's see. Let me just count the people that I've just found alive, right? You got Arnim Zola, who, died again, but he's still alive there. You got James Buchanan Barnes, who apparently didn't die from the train.
Nope, got a nice arm while he's at it.
You got Nicholas Fury. What the hell, man? I thought he was dead.
Thought he was dead.
And let's not forget about Captain America.
It's like you see someone die, and then all of a sudden, oh no, they're not dead.
Sometimes they're dead, and then sometimes they're just not dead.
Gives me hope to see Phil Coulson once again.
No, he's dead. Anyway, tell me about Fury.
Oh, he got a whole bunch of bullets in him.
Just a whole bunch.
Yeah. Everyone kind of gets a little patched up there, wounded from battle. And then they make a game plan to stop this attack and stop the Hella Harriers.
Hella Harriers?
Yeah, I think that's what they're called.
Hella Carriers.
They're harrying.
Hella Harriers. Hella Harriers.
They had Hella Harriers. 3 of them.
All right, speed run the end here.
Speeding the end here. They go, they fight, they win. That's it.
Okay, not that fast.
Okay, slow it down. So they go, they have a little scrap, if you will. A little tussle with some Hydra.
We forgot to talk about how we saw that Robert Redford is the one that hired the Winter Soldier, and turns out he's also evil and kills his waitress lady or maid lady.
Yeah. That's why you said, guess who dies? And then I was like, oh, waitress, maid lady. It was unfortunate.
Yeah.
But then, Bucky, I think it's important to notice here, or mention that Bucky kind of remembers who Steve Rogers is, and then they wipe his brain.
Oh, yeah. Also, Steve Rogers stole a suit from the Smithsonian. I'm pretty sure that's a federal crime, but he got away with it.
Stan Lee sighting.
Oh, yeah. He was there. He got fired for sure.
100% fired. Well, this is a crime if you steal your own suit.
Yes.
Fair enough.
From the government? Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So he gets his suit back. They fight Hydra on the, they make an announcement saying, hey, Hydra, these are some bad guys or girls.
No, they don't say, hey, Hydra. They say, Hydra.
Hydra. Who's this drug person everyone's saying hello to?
Hydra. Cut off one of her heads. Apparently 2 more grow.
2 more grow. Captain America does some heroic stuff, gets shot about 12 times, one of which looks like a pretty fatal wound, but he pulls through because he's Captain America.
Yeah. Bullets aren't his weakness. Love is his weakness.
Yeah, and Anthony Mackie gets his wings clipped.
You made it like you started that sentence like Anthony Mackie got his wings because he was a good angel.
He almost was. If you didn't have that parachute.
Whenever Captain America is reunited with his friends, and Anthony Mackie gets his wings.
Yeah, he also pulls his parachute about 20 feet from the ground. And after falling, 400 feet, and just sticks the landing like he's a gymnast doing something off a pole vault.
He had a lot of practice.
Yeah, he would have had a lot of broken legs.
There's no fall damage.
No fall damage. They had that turned off for this movie.
I mean, Captain America jumped out of a plane without a parachute, for goddamn. That's probably when they turned it off.
Yeah, they're like, oh, wait. Flip the switch. No fall damage. Captain America places the special little chip in the carrier right as the guns are about to kill all the people who they deem bad.
Some say good timing.
Maybe let it fire a couple seconds on New Jersey,
Alabama,
Mississippi.
Can we get a helicarrier specifically for Alabama?
Sure. I mean, they could have repurposed one of them, is all I'm saying. And then Black Widow, she's got this name tag on that could, kill her once Pierce clicks a certain button on his iPhone. Actually, I think it was an Android, which is why you never really want to buy an Android.
Fun fact, I don't know if you know this about movies, but villains of the movies are never allowed to own iPhones.
Because iPhones are for good people.
That's a contract that Apple, the evil corporation, made a deal with Disney, the other evil corporation, to include. So
Disney sponsor us. We just called you evil.
I was literally about to say, well, just kidding. Disney's not evil because they're going to sponsor us one day, and that's how I know they're a good company.
We'll sell our souls.
Oh hell yeah! What soul?
Well, that got ripped out of me a couple years ago.
Sorry, Disney. It's not worth much, but you can have what's left.
Have the shreds, the scraps.
All right. So quickly ending it here is the 3 little helicarriers fall to the ground, and Bucky drags Steve from water because he's like, "My boy, my friend. I think I'm with you till the end of the line."
Yeah. And then, they all recover. And, you kind of see an end credit scene.
You forgot about how Fury just is now dead. He's got a gravestone and everything. And then Bucky... and then
right.
Steve and Falcon are like, let's go Bucky hunting. And then the credits roll.
Yeah, I thought that was at the beginning of the end credit scene.
No.
All right. So, end credit scene 1 out of 2. Don't think I didn't catch 2.
I was curious.
That second one was tricky. It was short, and it was really at the end there. That's when they're, dragging everyone into the hospital. You see Crossbones. It's not Crossbones. It's what's his name.
Is that part of the end credit scene? I thought that was just the end of the movie.
Is it?
Yeah. No, that's just the end of the movie, I'm pretty sure. Maybe it's the end credit scene.
No, the end credit scene is when they're showing the Tesseract. That's right. Or Loki's scepter thing.
Yes, there you go. That's not the Tesseract.
No, that's not.
That's Loki's scepter.
Yeah, Loki's scepter. And they're like, we can't let them find out we work for Shield or Hydra.
Yeah, the other one.
Yeah, the other.
And there's a couple of twins in there.
There's a couple twins. We see the Speedy twin, and then Scarlet Witch.
Also known as one of the Olsen sisters.
Yeah.
Not a twin, but a sister.
The best one.
She plays a twin, but she's not a twin like her twin sisters.
Yeah.
Anyway, and the other end credit scene?
It's Bucky Barnes going to the old Captain America exhibit at the Smithsonian and sees his profile.
Yeah, and he's like, "Is that me?" All right, well, let me quickly, good job, B+. Let me rattle off of some of these fun facts. We are getting deep in it. It's an hour in already.
It's not too bad.
It's about our average episode is 55 minutes. Here are the fun facts. The name and title Winter Soldier comes from a quote from 1800s philosopher Thomas Paine, in which he quotes what makes a Winter Soldier. International versions of the movie change up Steve's his to catch up list to different things. His little list he writes in, it's different in international versions.
Okay. Japan's like, watch some hentai.
Yeah. Watch One Punch Man guy. Batroc the Leaper is based off Marvel character Batroc the Leaper and wears purple and yellow like his counterpart.
As one would.
Steve's suit in this movie is based off of his Secret Avengers suit. Cap does not fire...
Wait. Well, I didn't hear you there. Whose suit?
Captain America suit.
Oh.
It's based off the Secret Avengers suit.
Yes.
Captain America does not fire a single bullet the entire movie.
Thought that was a little BS. You know, Sam's up there trying his hardest to shoot guys, and Captain America's here. Here, let me gently set you down.
No.
A van.
Did you see what kind of damage that frisbee did?
I mean, his shield?
Yeah, his deadly frisbee. The story Nick Fury tells about his grandfather is supposedly based off of Samuel L. Jackson's grandfather.
That is interesting.
Mm-hmm. It makes sense. I could see it.
I like a good connection like that.
The director's nephew is the kid that spots Captain America in the Smithsonian. The
I was
mother...
gonna talk about that kid, but I forgot about him.
You love that kid, right? If there's anything
You know
I know...
what? I can't say anything bad about this kid. For one reason. Normally, stupid kid would be like, "Oh my, Captain America!" His cover's blown. Hydra shoots at Captain America, and now we're in a battle. But that kid kept his mouth shut. Good job, kid. Out of 10.
He knows snitches get stitches.
Yeah, that kid was raised right.
The kid's mother, the director's his sister, appears in the group meeting run by Sam. She talks about how it's hard to drive and she gets PTSD and all that fun stuff.
That was the plastic bag IED lady.
Yeah.
Okay.
Director Joe Russo appears as a nurse operating on Fury in his death scene.
I thought he looked a little bit like the kid.
In the comics, Alexander Pierce is one of Fury's top covert agents.
Interesting.
This is one of my favorite Easter eggs in this movie. The screeching music sound that plays when the Winter Soldier appears is a heavily distorted version of Bucky screaming when he falls from the train.
And dies.
Yeah, you know that like screech noise when he appears, like that's part of the soundtrack in the background?
Yeah.
That's distorted him screaming.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I really like that one. Bucky is the poor soul who lost his arm in this movie. Remember Phase 2?
I was going to ask you if that one counted.
Yeah, it counts.
Okay.
Disguised Natasha does not sip the champagne when the other security council members do.
Oh, she has that face mask on.
Yeah, and she does not sip the wine, or sip the champagne because it's poisoned. Or it might be poisoned.
It wasn't poisoned.
But it might have been.
Might have been.
Fury's gravestone includes the Bible verse Ezekiel 25:17 from Samuel L. Jackson's quote in Pulp Fiction, when he quotes Ezekiel 25:17.
Pulp Fiction confirmed MCU.
I mean, it'd be kind of weird. Do you think Nick Fury watches that and goes, "That guy's handsome"? All right, that's all I got for fun facts. Here are those little thready connections that I like to give you every once in a while.
Connect these threads and don't cut them with scissors.
Okay. Nick Fury tells Steve last time he trusted someone, he lost an eye. We'll touch on that again when we talk about Captain Marvel. We may or may not learn how he lost that eye, and it may or may not be a very stupid thing. Stark designs the helicarrier's engines to run off repulsor tech after having a close look at it in the Avengers.
We've already talked about that close look.
Oh, yes. Remember, I like to say, even if I've mentioned it while we were going through, I like to say all the little connections again so nobody yells at me.
You gotta summarize them, you know?
Oh, hell yeah. Throughout the film, Natasha wears a necklace with an arrow pendant, maybe symbolizing somebody that she cares deeply about.
Hawkeye, potentially?
Steve and Natasha visit Camp Lehigh. Steve and Natasha visit Camp Lehigh, the site where Steve trained in the first film. In this film, we learn Hydra is behind Howard and Maria Stark's death. The newspaper that states this is dated 12/17/1991. In Civil War, we learn that they were killed on 12/16/1991, giving the paper 1 day to report on this death.
They were a bit slow, if you ask me.
It was a slow news day.
They didn't have the internet.
Agent Sitwell has a meeting with Senator Stern from Iron Man 2, confirming them both as Hydra.
He goes, "Hail Hydra."
Sitwell name drops Bruce Banner and Doctor Strange, who at this time is a well-known doctor, and perhaps the algorithm accurately predicted him becoming a sorcerer. Yeah, because this time he's not a sorcerer, he's just a doctor.
I didn't even really think of that when I heard his name.
Yeah, that's Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
That's
More you know.
the first time he's mentioned in the MCU.
Strange? That's the first time he's mentioned?
Yeah.
I feel like we've talked about him.
We've definitely talked about him. I put him in the quiz all the time, but he hasn't actually been mentioned. The serum Fury uses to fake his death was developed by Banner to lower his stress levels.
It didn't work, but they repurposed it.
Yep. And it really worked to just slow his heartbeat down to 1 beat per minute. That's crazy.
That's how I'm trying to be.
Damn. I want to be that relaxed.
Tony
We get our first glimpse of Avengers Tower when the helicarriers start targeting.
Stark's tower there.
Yeah, he's hanging out in Avengers Tower. We learn Peggy, Stark, and Colonel Phillips founded S.H.I.E.L.D.
That's why Captain America stuck around. Big reason.
And the end credit scenes show Hydra got a hold of Loki's scepter, and they used it to experiment on Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. Alright, Jake, are you ready for your absolutely easy quiz that I did not make intentionally hard in any way?
Hit me with it there, sloppy jalopy.
Oh, well, unfortunately, I had this other quiz. Question number 1. What is the name of the villain Captain America fights on the ship? Is it A, Cruz the Kicker, B, Prim the Prancer, C, Baytrek the Leaper, or D, Kyle the IT guy?
See, I like that you tossed Kyle the IT. That one took me for a loop.
I'm surprised you didn't think it was Kyle the IT guy.
No, it was a close second.
Question number 2. Who is the Secretary of Defense? Is it A, Nick Fury, B, Alexander Pierce, C, President Matthew Ellis, or D, Brock Rumlow?
Alexander Pierce.
That is correct. Question number 3. What was Nick Fury's grandfather's job? Was he A, elevator operator, B, bathroom attendant, C, shoe shiner, or D, barber?
This is a tricky one here, you sneaky guy.
I see that you might be a little stumpy-stumpied.
I'm gonna go with elevator guy.
That is correct. Ooh, you. This one's a give me. Who designed the engine on the new helicarriers? Is it A, Agent Hill, B, Bruce Banner, C, Eric Selvig, or D, Tony Stark?
Tony Stark. They would never let a naked guy like Eric Self design the helicarrier.
Hey, he's not always nude. Sometimes he wears clothes.
Yeah.
All right, here I started ramping it up a little bit. Question number 5. What is the name of the S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters? Is it A, the Hub, B, the Lighthouse, C, the Triskelion, or D, the Providence?
It's the Triskelion.
That is correct. However, every single one of these other bases is a location that S.H.I.E.L.D. owns that we may talk about next week in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, but this is the Triskelion.
It is the Triskelion. Question number 6. What is the name of the scientist who created the algorithm Hydra is using? Is it A, Artem Zola, B, Johann Schmidt, C, Baron Strucker, or D, Gideon Malik?
Zola.
That is correct. I don't like that you're doing well.
When I heard Redhead Schmidt.
No, I said Johann Schmidt.
We all know it's Redhead.
Question number 7. Where do Steve and Natasha find Artem Zola? Is it A, Camp Pendleton, B, Camp Lehigh, C, the Lighthouse, or D, the Triskelion?
It's Lehigh, not Camp Pendleton.
That is correct. Let's see. You'll probably get that one. Oh, you might not get that one. And you'll probably get that one. Okay. Question number 8. What fellow Hydra operative is Sitwell having lunch with when Sam captures him? Is it A, Alexander Pierce, B, Daniel Whitehall, C, John Garrett, or D, Henry Stern?
Henry Stern.
That is correct. That was the one I knew you would get. Question number 9. Who does Sitwell not name drop when being interrogated? Is it A, Steve Rogers, B, Tony Stark, C, Stephen Strange, or D, Bruce Banner?
Steve Rogers.
That is incorrect. It is Tony Stark. He name drops Steve Rogers, Stephen Strange, and Bruce Banner.
He doesn't say Tony Stark there?
Nope. Tony Stark is aimed at when we see the helicarriers aiming on their targets, but he is not mentioned by name by Sitwell. He is mentioned by name by Nick Fury and Robert Redford, Alexander Pierce.
I'm gonna go back and watch it just to make sure.
Yeah, he says Sitwell's on the ground. He says, "We're targeting people who may be threats. You, Stephen Strange, Bruce Banner."
I'll fact check that.
Okay. Question number 10. Who is Baron Strucker experimenting on? Is it A, Bucky, B, Wanda and Pietro, C, Vision and Ultron, or D, Magneto and Rogue?
Wanda and Pedro.
That is incorrect. It's Pietro.
I was right.
All right. You did a 90%. I got to make these harder next time.
Oh, boy. That was, I will say, that was, besides, the final. That was a challenging one right there.
I will say I did consider making it all what actor played, but I wasn't that mean.
That'd be so rude.
It'd be pretty funny. I think maybe that'll be the one I do next time when we talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh,
I might not even give you a quiz for that. We may do a little bit of a different format for that, but for this week, your homework is to watch Season 1, Part 1 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So I have decided we're going to break this down into 2 parts. Next week, we'll talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode 1 through 11, I think I decided. And then the week after, we'll talk about episode 12 through 22. I have to look that up again, but first half and second half, we'll split that up into 2 halves since they're pretty much 2 defining story arcs of the first season.
And there's just so much going on, we can't possibly jam that all into one episode.
Exactly. So we'll do 2 episodes on S.H.I.E.L.D. next. So we'll talk about that. The bell is ringing. That is what I was trying to say 2 seconds ago, and I stumbled over my own words. So now we must end this class.
I'm getting out of here.
Yeah. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter and all those fun things at AJ Slabs and Juicy Snake 12. You can also follow the podcast Instagram and Twitter, which I think is Marvel Cinematic University. I'm going to put them just right here. So if you're watching the video, you can see it. I think it's like MC University 101 on Twitter, and then Marvel Cinematic University Pod on Instagram. It's something like that. But they're right here. Like, you can read if you're watching the video.
You should probably put that on your, little sticky note on your desk there, so you say the words right.
No, you don't need to say that in a ramble up. Don't forget to like, subscribe, rate us 5 stars on Stitcher, Spotify, anywhere we are. New episodes every Thursday at 3. I've been your Professor Alex. This has been my co-host, Juicy Snake, and we will see you next Thursday.
Adios, my friends.